I'll have this one. Thank you so much. It's so nice to be with you. And you know, I travel a lot. I just came back from India recently, and when we have speeches in India and the room is full like this one, then usually people tend to just come to the front and they start sitting on the floor. Because there are just so many. How many of you have been to India before? One. Okay, we'll have a chat later. It's okay. So if you would like to, you can just come closer, you can just come here. There are plenty of space. Actually, in India, in this place, you could fit something like 50 people. Definitely. In that place, you could sit something like 150. So you can just come over and just take seats so we can, That lady just came in and her face was, wow, so many people. So just come close. You can sit down. Before we start dwelling into how you could become a joyful leader, let's just have a little chat. How many of you are leaders at the moment? Just please raise your hand. Okay, a few of you. How many would like to become leaders? Please raise your hand. Wow. Okay, how many would not like to be a leader? Okay, so basically everyone would like to be a leader. Why? Can you just tell me why you would like to be leaders? Just shout, and I will try to listen. Pardon me? Bringing change. Okay, what else? Be in charge. Okay, that's it. I want to be the boss. Good. We have a chat afterwards. Okay. You said you would like to help people. Okay, what else? To be better, or to help people to become better. What else? Show the way. My question is, what kind of way would we like to show when we are leaders? In the introduction, it was said that I have experience in, who remembers what was those 4 areas? It was corporate, non-profit. What are the 2 other areas? Governmental and religious leadership. You know, it's like, how many of you think that it's different to lead a religious organization or a corporate organization? Put your hands up. How many think that it's different? How many think that it's different to lead a governmental institution and a non-profit? Please raise your hand if you think it's different. Who think it's always the same? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, a few of you. Well, actually, it's almost the same. Leadership is almost always the same, because it depends on the leader. It depends on your integrity, it depends on your values, it depends on you. And it depends on you what kind of techniques, what kind of skills you learn and you develop. Let's just go back in time a little. I was 10 years old. And with my family, that was the first time that we went camping. And I was really happy. It was on a bank of a little river. And there was a bookstore. And on the way home, we went to the bookstore and I got really attracted to a book, a Hungarian book. It was called How to Be Successful in Life. You know, I was 10. Who cares? You know, successful means that belly is full and I can play a lot. That was the plan at that time. But somehow I just bought that book. Well, not me, I didn't have money, but my parents did. And then we went home, and in the book it was so interesting because it was speaking about that if you would like to be successful in life, then you should do a lot of things for yourself. And they defined success as being a leader. I'm not quite convinced still today that being a leader means that that's the only success in life. There are so many successes. But what happened is that actually that book changed my life. Yeah, that short one that I had until then. But what happened is that I started looking at life a bit differently. And that book was speaking about that I should improve myself. If I would like to be successful, I should improve myself. And you know, a 10-year-old kid, what they think about improving themselves. By the age of 14, I became the captain of our football team. And by the age of 15, we won one competition and we became second in another one. And then, because the coach of the football team made a player who was drunk play in my team that I was the captain of, I just hang my soccer shoes and I told the coach goodbye. It's not my values. I don't play with people who are drunk. I play with people who put the effort in something. That was the age of 15. And at the age of 16, I decided that I would like to become a monk. From a football player to become a monk. You know, it was really interesting journey in my life. But I became a Hindu monk. And I developed a lot of skills and a lot of things in my life that really meant a lot for me. Because at 10, I read that book, that I should improve myself. And to be able to improve myself, I should do something with myself. Because if I would like to lead others, I need to lead myself towards something. So I thought, well, maybe being a monk could help in that area. And actually it really did. But then later on I decided to get married. So from being a football player, then becoming a monk, then I got married. And actually it's just so amazing being married. But I figured out that I still have some other things in life. I have to work, I have some hobbies, I have to take rest, and I have to take care of my relationships. So how could all of these fit in one life? And by this time, I was the head of a sales group, and it was a direct sales group, and we were really, really successful in that. And I was giving presentations in Kazakhstan, in India, and in Dubai about sales and about leading people who would like to sell something. And the work actually ended up me being a deputy mayor, and also to just travel to more than 15 countries and do a lot of things. And I was really happy. I was extremely happy because I was doing what I really wanted to do. And then happened something. The family grew. And family meant that I have 2 kids. And now I realize that I have 0 good qualities. You know, when kids are there, it's like they really make you understand that you have no good qualities. I thought that I'm patient. And then, some of you maybe have children, that's why you're laughing. Or you assume that yeah, actually that was really, really interesting because I thought that I'm patient. And I just did not have time for myself. I did not have time for my work. I didn't have time for my wife. I didn't have time for my hobbies. I didn't have time for practically anything. And the kids always wanted more. And I said, hey man, that just doesn't work. I should get back to my roots. I should just sit down and I should think. I should develop myself much more. Because now I have a much greater responsibility. I have to raise these kids. I have to raise my children so that they could become successful in life, how they would like to be successful. Now, the smaller one is 7, the bigger one is 10. They are really focused on developing themselves. The smaller one started a jewelry online shop just a month ago. And the bigger one started understanding personality types. That's what my wife teaches. So she started learning that because she would like to be a leader. And the question is, do we really have everything for ourselves to develop ourselves? Excellence. This is such an important word for all of us. You know, if you go to that was a giant leap. So if you would like to do something in life, you would never ever go for average. You always lead for excellence. If you go to a restaurant, you never ask the waiter, give me an average food. You never do that. You go to a conference, you don't go there and say that, well, I would just like to, let's see what's on the schedule. I would like to just go to an average presentation. Is that one excellent? Yeah, don't go that one. This is an average. Go to this one. You know, it's like the question is, can we be excellent? Well, you're quite close to college in terms of age. So when you're in school and your grades are really bad in math and really good in history, what would the teacher tell you? What should you learn? Math. Math or history? Math. Math. Why? Because you're wrong at it. You have to improve your math because you're not good at math. Wow. Just improve that. That's when we lost the excellent archaeologist. That's when we lost the excellent historian. That's when we lost excellence. You have to find what you're good at, and you have to focus on developing what you're good at. If you focus on what you're wrong at, just guess what? Where will you go? You go here. You will become average. You won't become excellent. Find what you're good at, focus on that, and develop that as much as possible. Just invest a lot in that. And I'm not speaking about money, I'm speaking about time and effort. Invest in that. Because you will not be able to lead others unless you can lead yourself. If you can lead yourself, then leading others is easy. Because leading by example leaves traces. Leading by power usually leaves only marks. So the other thing that's really important is that you have to take responsibility for your life. When I consult people, then the first consultancy session usually just goes by, I couldn't do this because of this. That man did this to me. That woman did this to me. And then we're getting into the blame game. And the end result of the blame game is that I am not responsible for my life. What does that tell us? that tell us that life just happened to us instead of we creating life happening for us. So taking responsibility for your life means that you don't blame others for anything that happens to you. Because there are two things in life. Either you win or you learn. You never lose. If you say you lose, you got into the blame game. If you say that from this particular thing I could learn this and I will avoid this situation this and this and this way, that means that you took charge of your life. So that's really important. The third one is a growth plan. So since I was 10, I had a growth plan. I wanted to become excellent in football, then as a monk, then as a husband, then as a father, then with all my work and job and everything, and I have everything written down since I was 16. How many of you have a growth plan for yourself? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, how many of you have a growth plan in your mind? Okay, put both your hands up, it seems much more. Okay, if you have it in your mind, it's not enough. It's not enough because if you have it in your mind, you can change it, you can forget it, and you can never stick to it. So when you go out of this presentation, not this one but the other one, because that's when you will have a break, just sit down, take a paper, and write 3 things on the paper that you would like to achieve in 5 years from now. Then write down 3 things that you would like to achieve 15 years from now. There are 4 types of goals that we have to focus on: short term, long term, lifetime, and spiritual. Well, being a monk for quite some years, spiritual is really important for me. And when you have goals in all of these 4 areas, you will feel that your life goes into a good direction. So if you don't have a growth plan written, you will not grow. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You've heard that many times, I'm sure. So planning is crucial. It's extremely important. I'll tell you just one thing in regards to this. In December, we were talking about that it would be really nice to start a new product line for the largest eco-village of the middle of Europe. A new product line that could be on the market. And they were working on that for quite some years, and it just did not happen. And I said, okay, let's do that. Why not? So on the 15th of January, we agreed that I will work on that. And I had one lady and myself, that's all, the 2 of us. Start a completely new product line. They asked me, how much time do you need? I said 60 days. On the 1st of February, I flew to India. I started on Wednesday, landed Thursday afternoon in Kolkata. And Friday morning, my meetings started at 9:45. I had continuous meetings for 17 days. The last meeting ended at 7:30 in the evening. I got in the taxi and I was on the airport towards Dubai. So that was around 3 weeks. So I said on the 15th of January that we will make a new product line in 60 days. 3 weeks were missing. I was working on that like mad while I was there in India. I spent 3 hours on it every day as an extra to my meetings. I had a very rigid, and still I have a very rigid daily schedule. I usually go to bed around 9 o'clock. I get up at 1:30 in the morning. I read. I learn. I write. I think. I meditate. I pray for the first 3 hours of every day that I have. And I do this for I don't know how many years. I could fit in everything. I could fit in everything. With your personal growth plan, you would need to have a proper schedule, a proper daily schedule. You have to be disciplined. Self-discipline is crucial for success, and self-discipline starts with you. It's not that others will tell you what to do, and others will inspire you what to do. That inspiration should come from within. So self-discipline is really important. So try to have a proper daily schedule and stick to it. No matter what, stick to it. You don't have to sleep only 4.5 hours. You can sleep 6. 6.5. The main thing is that you have to get up early, before anyone else gets up, and use the first 2 hours of your life every day for yourself. If you do that, just imagine if you read every day for 1 hour in the morning when you get up, and you read like, how many pages in an hour? Like 40, let's say, 40 pages. I have a speed reading training, and I can read really fast in Hungarian, not in English, in Hungarian. I can teach you that. It takes only 45 minutes, and there were people who could improve 3 times in 45 minutes. Just reading, it's so simple. But it's not time for that now at the moment. So if you read 1 hour every day, that means that you read a book every week. If you read a book every week, that's 52 books a year. Well, when you're in college, you don't read that much. You know, you have the 3 days subjects. The first day you learn, second day you have the exam, third day you forget. That's the... And anyway, so have a growth plan. If you don't have that for yourself, you will never reach that, because if you don't have a goal, you won't reach the goal. And the last thing is that you have to have a balanced life. Well, I got really out of balance when my first daughter was born, and completely went on a funny trajectory when my second one was born. You have to balance your life. Rest, race, recreation, and relationships. All of these 4 are really important. Actually, there is almost nothing else in life than these 4. Rest, meaning how much and how quality rest you have for 4.5 hours, or 6. Race means how much time do you spend on work, and how effective you are when you're doing that. This is a crucial point, because I can tell you, ladies, I can tell you that most men are living in polygamy. Most men are living in polygamy. They are married to their work. And usually they are the first wife. Work is the first wife. And the real one is the second. And that's terrible. So when you balance these 4 things, that means that with the relationships, that means that you are ready to work for someone and spend time with someone. If you don't do these 2 things, then it's not a relationship. It's a business. I work for you, you cook for me. That's all. If you just spend time with the other person and you're not ready to work for the person, then it's even worse because you will end up dead, starving. So both are important. You have to work for someone and you have to spend time with someone. That's how you would be able to balance all of these things. And actually, we have this joyful leadership training that we started. You can have some of these flyers in the networking area, and if you're interested, I can give you some. Because these are the things that we teach. There's an online training, there's a manual, there's real-life training, there's a lot of things. Because this is important. This is how you will help others, you will change others, you will take charge of others. This is how you will do everything properly in life. Because this will help you to develop your integrity, your character, your charisma, your skills. So this is important for your life. And by the way, the whole training is for free because it's funded by the European Union. But this is important for your life. For your life now, today. Don't wait a second. Write your goals. Make your daily schedule. Have a growth plan. Spend time with your loved ones and work for them. In this way, you will take responsibility for your life. Thank you very much.
Now we have question time. Usually I'm the one who asks the first question, but we have so many people here, and I would like them to ask the first question. So please ask away.
And speak up loudly.
How do you stick to your schedule? I mean, for work and other recreation is okay, but relationship, I think it's more difficult because if you're talking to a person, how do you say, okay, I'm out of time, I have to go.
Sorry, I have to work for you now. I don't have more time to spend with you. Yeah, that's a good one. Actually, what's really important is that you have to have a flexible schedule. And when you spend quality time with your loved ones or with your friends, then there won't be a scarcity of your presence. Meaning that spending time with someone could be many different types. I'm eating with you and never even looking up. Oh, we had a really nice lunch. Yeah. Well, it was tasty, but so you have to have a flexible schedule, but you have to have some really solidly defined time slots for yourself, for your work, for rest, for relationships. It's really important, and that's why the morning when no one is up, just you, that's for yourself. And evening, usually you spend at least a few hours either with your friends or with your loved ones. And I'm traveling like 4 months a year. So that means that I spend every day 1.5 hours on Skype with my family, every day. No matter what's the time there in India or in Dubai or in wherever I am, we always spend time. You have to be flexible, but you have to be strict in keeping times. Okay, there was another question over there. Whoever was first.
I wanted to ask you, how do you see time planning?
How?
It takes a lot of effort to actually plan.
Oh, to plan?
Yeah, to plan the schedule that you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
When do you actually plan? Because usually when I wake up in the morning, I'm really exhausted. Because I just woke up and I don't have the energy to plan.
Yes, well, planning, there are different types of people. And because there are different types of people, there are different styles that you can use or different techniques you can use. What I observed is that many times people need someone else to be around to plan. I was coaching quite some businessmen who were really good at planning in their business, but really wrong in planning in their own life. So we had to sit down and we had to make a properly working schedule and goals and plans for their own personal life. And then it was working. So plan when you have a relaxed time for yourself, and if you need help, then ask someone to come and help you. Many times we need help. I need help when I'm planning my thing. I usually consult my wife. She knows everything much more than I do. You know, what's my daily schedule? She knows much better than I do. So, yeah, find someone to help and find a relaxed time.
You say that a long-term and a short-term growth plan is important. How do you think in the time we are right now, in a very accelerated and changing time, how do you think is this affecting a growth plan?
Well, there are different sorts of plans. And when I speak about goals, I usually speak about many different goals. It's not just what you will achieve in money or in sales or in competing with others. I usually tend to say that you have to have plans or goals in developing your qualities, in developing your character, and with that, the rapidly changing time doesn't matter. And the other thing that's really important is that when you make plans, the short-term plans are usually max 1 year. Long-term plans could be, you know, up to 15. Lifetime plans, that's for lifetime. And lifetime plans usually means that what legacy would you like to leave? And that depends on your integrity and on your character. And that doesn't change with the rapidly changing times. So short-term goals, it's numbers, dates, times. It's very simple. Long-term goals, mainly a vision type of thing. How I would like others to see me in a certain amount of time from now. Lifetime goals, what's your legacy? Spiritual goals is your relationship with God, but we're not getting there now. Any other? If we have time. Sorry.
If you have any more questions for Mr. Zoltan, I would please ask you to ask him after he exits the room.
Thank you.
I hope that's okay. But
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're the boss.
I would like to give a big round of applause for Mr. Zoltan.
Thank you so much.
For being with us here today.
Thank you.